You just finished cleaning the kitchen. You haven't even sat down and already there are more dishes in the sink, a message to reply to, and something else waiting to be done. Why does it feel like no matter how much we do, nothing ever stays finished? I used to think I just needed to plan better. But then I started trying a few small habits I learned from how Japanese people live day to day. Nothing fancy. Just small ways of doing regular things that made everything feel a bit easier. In this video, I'm sharing 19 habits I've used in my real daily life. The kind of days that are busy, messy, and never quite go as planned. These habits helped me keep things more manageable at home and feel less overwhelmed in my head. If your days feel non-stop and it's hard to catch up, I think a few of these habits will make things easier. Let's start with the first one. One of the first habits I learned from Japanese daily life is giving yourself the first hour of the day. Just 1 hour in the morning that's only for you. No phone, no emails, no news, no jumping into work or house chores right away. At first it felt strange. I'm so used to waking up and immediately checking my phone or thinking about what needs to be done. But I started small. I put my phone in another room and gave myself 10 quiet minutes after waking up. I would stretch, drink a glass of water, maybe sit by the window. Nothing fancy. Just time to notice how I was feeling that day before everything else came in. Over time, those 10 minutes turned into 30. Sometimes I read, sometimes I just sit and sip tea. Some mornings I journal or go for a short walk. Since I started doing that, my mornings have changed. I don't feel like I'm already behind before I've even started. Things still get busy, but I don't feel like I'm chasing the day anymore. If your mornings usually begin with your phone buzzing or your to-do list already in your head, try giving yourself a few quiet minutes first. It gives your day a calmer place to begin. And if you're looking for small ways to care for yourself during the rest of the day, not just in the morning, I'll be sharing a few gentle self-care habits from Japanese culture in the next video. Simple things you can do even on a busy day to feel more grounded. But for now, let's keep going with the next habit. Next up. Another habit I picked up is doing a quick 5-minute clean each morning. Just 5 minutes. Not a full deep clean, not organizing the whole house. Just one small area to reset before the day begins. At first, I didn't think 5 minutes would matter. What can you even do in 5 minutes? But it turns out you can actually do a lot. Wipe the bathroom sink, clear the kitchen counter, put away the shoes by the door, pick up a few things off the floor. I started doing this while waiting for the kettle to boil or while the kids were still getting dressed. I didn't follow a checklist. I just looked around and picked one spot that looked messy. What surprised me is how much better the house felt by lunchtime. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't feel like a disaster either. And because I had already done something small in the morning, I didn't feel like I had to play catch-up all day. This habit also helped me stop thinking I had to clean everything at once. I used to feel like if I didn't have time to clean the whole room, then it wasn't worth starting. But 5 minutes is easy. And even a small change makes the space feel better. If your house often feels messy before lunchtime and you feel like you're cleaning all day but never catching up, try doing one small thing right after you wake up. Wipe one surface, clear one corner. That's enough. The habit 3 I started doing is writing down 3 things I feel thankful for in the morning. Just 3 simple things, like clean bed sheets, a warm cup of tea, or the fact that no one woke me up in the middle of the night. I used to wake up and immediately think about everything I had to get done, what I forgot to do yesterday, what I was already behind on. My head would be full before I even got out of bed. So one day, I grabbed a small notebook and started writing down 3 things that were already okay. It takes maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and it helps shift where my attention goes. I stop thinking only about problems and start noticing little things that feel steady, even if just for today. I don't always write something new or exciting. Some mornings I write the same things as yesterday. That's fine. It's not about being creative. It's just a small moment to slow down before the day speeds up. If your mornings usually start with stress or a long to-do list, Try writing down just 3 things you're glad to have. They don't have to be special, just small things that are real in your life. Doing this helps you start the day with a clearer mind instead of jumping straight into pressure. Let's move on to the next habit. One idea I learned from Japanese culture is called Kaizen. It just means getting a little better step by step. Not perfect. Not all at once. Just small improvements over time. Before, I used to think that if I wanted change, I had to do something big. A full clean-out, a new routine, fix everything at once. But the truth is, that never lasted. I would get tired or busy and things would go back to the way they were. Kaizen is the opposite of that. It's not about doing more. It's about doing one small thing better than yesterday. For me, that looked like putting my bag away right after coming home instead of leaving it on the floor. Or washing 2 dishes instead of letting them sit all day. Or going to bed 10 minutes earlier. None of these things are impressive, but doing them again the next day makes them stick. And when something sticks, it slowly becomes part of your routine. This habit helped me stop giving up just because I couldn't do everything. I started to focus on doing one thing at a time, even if it was tiny. And that made me feel less stuck. If you often feel like change is too big or too hard, Kaizen is a gentler way to start. Pick one thing. Do it a little better today than you did yesterday. That's enough. Next on our list is one habit I didn't expect to enjoy so much is making matcha the same way every morning. Not just drinking it, but actually turning it into a little routine. I boil the water, take out the same bowl, the same spoon, the same whisk. I measure, I mix, I pour. It takes just a few minutes, but I do it the same way every time. Before, I used to make drinks while checking my phone or doing 3 things at once. I never really paid attention. But with matcha, I started noticing things. Like how fast I was moving when I felt rushed, or how messy I got when I was distracted. This little routine helped me slow down without forcing myself to sit still. It gave my hands something to do, but my mind felt calmer too. Now it's just part of my morning. And even on busy days, those few quiet steps help me settle before the day gets noisy. You don't have to drink matcha to try this. It can be any small routine you do in the morning, like making tea or washing fruit. Just do it the same way each day without rushing, without checking your phone. When you repeat something simple like that, it helps your mind settle. It's an easy way to feel calm before the day gets busy. Next up, this is one of the simplest habits I've tried, but it works. It's called dry towel rubbing. In Japan, it's a way to warm up the body and improve blood flow, especially in the morning. All you need is a dry towel. Before taking a shower or right after getting out of bed, you take the towel and gently rub your arms, legs, back, and neck. It takes just a few minutes. At first, it felt strange, but after a few days, I noticed I was more awake in the mornings. My body felt warmer and I didn't feel as stiff. I usually do it before getting dressed while the water is boiling for tea. It doesn't need to be strong or perfect. Just gentle rubbing to wake up the skin and get the blood moving. If you often feel cold or tired in the morning, or just want a simple way to feel more awake without caffeine, this is worth trying. It takes almost no time, no money, and no effort, but it helps your body feel more ready for the day. The next habit I want to share is called alternating showers. It sounds uncomfortable at first, but it really works. You switch between hot and cold water at the end of your shower. Here's how I do it. I take a normal warm shower. Then at the end, I turn the water cold for about 30 seconds. After that, I switch back to warm for another 15 seconds, then end with cold again. The first time I tried it, I almost gave up. The cold water feels like a shock. But after doing it a few times, my body got used to it. Now I actually look forward to that cold burst. It wakes me up, clears my head, and gives me a boost of energy. I also noticed I get sick less often, and my skin feels healthier. On days when I feel tired or slow in the morning, this is the fastest way to feel alert again. If you've never tried it before, just start with a short cold rinse at the end. Even 10 seconds is enough to begin. It's uncomfortable at first, but the fresh feeling after makes it worth it. Next up, another habit that's been helpful for me is taking just 3 minutes to sit and breathe in the morning. That's it. No music, no app, no special setup. Just sitting still and noticing my breath. I used to think meditation was too hard or too quiet for me. I thought I had to sit still for 20 minutes or clear my mind completely. But when I heard someone say, "Just try 3 minutes," I gave it a shot. So now after I get out of bed, I sit on the edge for a few minutes. I close my eyes and breathe slowly. I don't try to fix anything or think about anything big. I just notice how the air feels coming in and going out. Sometimes my thoughts wander. That's okay. I just bring my focus back to breathing. 3 minutes go by quickly, but even in that short time I feel calmer. My mind feels less jumpy. I don't start the day in a rush. I don't always get it perfect. Some mornings are noisy. Some mornings I skip it. But whenever I do it, I feel the difference. If you often feel like your mind is already spinning when you wake up, try sitting still for just 3 minutes. No apps, no music, no pressure. Just you and your breath. It's simple and it helps. The next habit I started practicing is called Hara Hachi Bu. It's a simple idea from Japan that means you stop eating when you're about 80% full. At first, I wasn't sure how to know when I was at 80%. But the more I paid attention, the easier it got. I started slowing down during meals. I put my spoon down between bites. I gave myself a few minutes before going back for seconds. What I noticed is that I actually felt better after eating. I wasn't too full. I didn't feel sleepy or uncomfortable. I still felt satisfied but not heavy. Before this, I used to eat quickly, especially when I was busy or tired. I wouldn't realize I was full until it was too late. This habit helped me listen to my body more. It's not about cutting food or being strict, it's just about stopping at enough instead of too much. If you often feel bloated or tired after meals, try eating a little slower and stopping before you're completely full. You can always eat more later if you're still hungry, but most of the time you won't need to. Let's move on to the next habit. This one I found really helpful is starting the day clean and ending it organized. It sounds simple, but doing both has made a big difference in how my home feels. In the morning, I try to reset just one area before I do anything else. Usually it's the kitchen counter or the dining table. Wiping it down and clearing it off takes maybe 2 minutes, but it gives me a small sense of order before the day begins. Then at night, before going to bed, I put things back where they belong. I fold the blanket on the couch. I return cups to the sink. I check that my keys and bag are in the right spot for tomorrow. Nothing takes long. But waking up to a space that already feels calm changes the tone of the whole morning. Before this, I used to clean in random bursts when things got out of control. But this habit helped me stay ahead of the mess without needing big cleanups. If your home often feels messy, even when you've been tidying, try doing one small clean at the start of your day and one small reset at the end. It helps your space stay steady, and it gives your mind a little break too. After trying a few habits that helped me feel more organized, I wanted something simple I could stick to every single day. That's when I started what I call a 100% habit. It's just one tiny thing that you do every day no matter what. Not something big, not something that takes effort. Just one small action that you can always complete even on a busy or bad day. For me, it was lining up my shoes after coming home. I've done it when I was tired, sick, or had a full day. It takes a few seconds, but I always do it. That small habit gave me a quiet sense of consistency. Even if the rest of the day didn't go as planned, I had that one thing I kept up with. It helped me feel a little more in control and made it easier to build other habits later. You can pick anything. Something that feels natural but repeatable, like wiping the kitchen sink before bed, or making your bed as soon as you get up, or drinking a glass of water right after brushing your teeth. The goal isn't to be productive. The goal is to build trust with yourself by doing one thing you don't skip. If bigger routines feel too hard to keep up, this is a good place to begin. The next habit I started paying attention to was taking care of my gut. I didn't think much about it before. I just ate whatever was quick and moved on with my day. But over time, I noticed I often felt tired, bloated, or just off without knowing why. So I started making small changes. I added more fermented foods to my meals like miso soup or yogurt. I also started drinking a small glass of enzyme drink in the morning. Nothing strict, just a few things that help my digestion work better. After a few weeks, I felt different. My stomach felt calmer. I wasn't as tired in the afternoon. And surprisingly, I was in a better mood. I hadn't changed anything big, but my body felt like it could handle the day better. This isn't about following a diet. It's just about being a little more kind to your gut. If you often feel sluggish or uncomfortable after eating, try adding one thing that supports digestion. It could be a warm bowl of miso, a small serving of pickled veggies, or just slowing down while you eat. Your gut does a lot of work every day. Giving it a bit of care can make a real difference in how you feel overall. Something else that helped me keep going, especially when things didn't work the first time, is what I call the 1 in 10 rule. It's simple. If you try something 10 times, chances are one of them will work. Maybe not perfectly, but enough to give you a result. Enough to make it feel worth it. I used to quit early. If a system didn't work the first time, like a new cleaning routine or a meal plan, I'd think, well, I guess that doesn't work for me. But then I started paying attention. And I noticed that many things only started working after the 3rd, 5th, or even 10th try. This rule helped me stop expecting everything to click right away. It reminded me that trying again is part of the process, not a failure. Now, when something doesn't work the first time, I don't give up so quickly. I adjust it. I try again. And I keep count in my head. Okay, that was try number 3. Let's see what try number 4 looks like. If you've been trying to change something at home and nothing seems to stick, maybe it's not the idea that's wrong. Maybe you just haven't reached try number 10 yet. Keep going. One of them might be the one that fits. Another habit that helped me feel more balanced was spending time outside in nature, even just a little. In Japan, they call it Shinrin-Yoku, which means forest bathing. But it doesn't mean you have to go hiking or find a quiet forest. It simply means being around trees, fresh air, and natural space without doing anything else. I started by taking short walks in the nearest park. Sometimes I wouldn't even walk far, I'd just sit on a bench and look at the trees. No phone, no music, just noticing the colors, the sounds, the way the air felt. At first it didn't seem like much, but after a few days, I felt calmer. I wasn't thinking as much. My body felt less tense, and it gave me a break from the noise of everyday life. Now I try to get outside at least once a day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. When the weather is nice, I sit by a tree or walk around the block without any plans. If your mind feels full and your day feels packed, try stepping outside. You don't need a big trip or a long hike, just some quiet time with green things around you. Let nature do the rest. Next up, something I didn't expect to be a habit, but really is how I talk to myself when things go wrong. Before, if I spilled something or forgot a task, I'd get annoyed right away. I'd think, of course this happened, or I'm always messing things up. I didn't even notice I was doing it. It felt automatic. But I started paying attention. And little by little, I began changing the way I reacted. Now, when something goes wrong, I pause and ask myself, is this really a big deal, or can I laugh about this instead? It sounds small, but it really shifts how the rest of the day feels. One moment of frustration doesn't have to grow into a bad mood or a bad day. I'm not always positive, and I don't try to force a good attitude. But I've learned that how I respond to small things adds up. And choosing a softer response just once or twice a day makes a difference. If you often feel like little problems ruin your whole morning, try noticing your first thought. Then try saying something a little kinder to yourself. It won't fix everything, but it can stop the stress from building up. And that alone makes the day easier to handle. Next up, one idea that stuck with me over time is something called Ikigai. It means having a reason to get up in the morning. That reason doesn't have to be big. It's not about chasing your dream job or finding some huge purpose. It can be something small that gives your day meaning. For me, it changed depending on the season. Sometimes it was watering my plants. Other times it was looking forward to a quiet cup of tea before the house got loud. I used to wake up feeling heavy, like the day was just a long list of things I had to get through. But when I started asking myself, what small thing today feels worth waking up for, the mornings felt different. It gave me something to look forward to. Not as a reward, but just as a little anchor to begin the day with something that felt like mine. If your mornings often feel like a rush of chores or pressure, try finding one thing just for you that feels good to do. It can be small. Feeding the birds, stretching in the sun, listening to a song you love. It doesn't need to be impressive. It just needs to feel like a reason to begin. The next habit I slowly added back into my routine was moving my body every day. Not intense workouts, just something light and doable. There was a time when I thought if I couldn't do a full workout, then it wasn't worth doing at all. But that kind of thinking kept me stuck. So I changed my goal. I told myself, just move today. That's enough. Some days it's stretching for 5 minutes before bed. Some days it's walking around the block. Other times I follow a short video while dinner is cooking. What I noticed is that regular gentle exercise helped me feel more awake. My body felt less tight. My mood was better. And I started sleeping more deeply. If you've been putting off exercise because it feels too hard to start, try something small and short. Just move in a way that feels good and easy. A little bit each day goes further than you think. Another habit that changed how I move through the day is treating the things around me with more care. I heard someone say, handle your things like you would treat someone you love. At first it sounded strange, but I tried it. I started by putting down my cup gently instead of dropping it on the table. I folded clothes a little slower. I closed drawers without slamming them. It didn't take more time, but it made me more aware of how rushed or distracted I was feeling. When I moved more gently, my whole mood shifted. I wasn't fighting the mess or rushing through tasks. I was just doing them with a bit more respect for the objects and for myself. It sounds small, but it made everyday tasks feel less like chores and more like quiet moments. And in a busy day, that's something I've come to really appreciate. If your days often feel like one thing after another, try slowing down just a little. Treat your things like they matter. It helps you feel more present and somehow everything feels less messy. The last habit I want to share is making space for what the Japanese call empty time. It's not time to get something done. It's not for catching up on messages or folding laundry. It's simply time where nothing is planned. At first, this felt strange. I'm used to filling every gap in the day. If I had 5 free minutes, I'd scroll-check emails or clean something. But over time, I realized I needed breaks that weren't about doing anything. Now I try to leave little gaps in my day. A few minutes after lunch, 10 minutes in the afternoon with no noise, no task, no phone. Just sitting, looking out the window, letting my mind settle. This space gives my brain room to breathe. I come back to the next thing feeling less tense and more focused. If your day feels packed from morning to night, try giving yourself even a few minutes with nothing to do, just quiet time. That small pause can help everything else feel less overwhelming. That's everything I wanted to share with you today. These small habits might seem simple, but when they show up in real daily life during mess stress or quiet moments, they really do make a difference. In the next video, I'll be talking about a few self-care habits from Japanese culture that are easy to try and actually feel good to do. Not complicated, not just for weekends. Just small ways to take care of yourself in the middle of a normal, busy day. If today's video gave you something helpful to think about, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.